So you have a solid routine, but you're still struggling with dark spots or hyperpigmentation. There is a secret weapon that you should know about that you can use that will help to alleviate those dark spots and that hyperpigmentation. It will not require another layer of skincare, so you don't have to figure out how you're gonna fit it into the layers. That secret weapon is cysteamine. Now, cysteamine works by inhibiting the activity of melanocytes. So those are the cells that are responsible for producing melanin in our skin. It gives our skin its color. And the cysteamine regulates melanin production, and it can help to lighten dark spots and even out your skin tone. It can brighten your skin and help with melasma. Now, I'm going to give you 8 benefits to cysteamine, and I'm also going to give you the drawbacks so that you can make a decision as to whether this is something that you might want to incorporate into your routine. Number 1 on the pros is that it is an effective hyperpigmentation treatment. Cysteamine inhibits melanin production, we talked about that, making it effective at lightening up dark spots, lightens up melasma, and it lightens up post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, so dark marks that are left behind after a trauma, wound, acne, etc. Number 2 is that cysteamine can brighten your complexion. So that might seem like the same as lightening hyperpigmentation, and it kind of is. What happens is when you get rid of the hyperpigmentation, melasma, etc., you reveal a brighter complexion. So not only do you reduce those dark spots, the melasma, the hyperpigmentation, but you're able to show through this better skin tone. So it's kind of a twofer. Now, the third thing that it does is it targets stubborn dark spots. So the ones that are super resistant, super persistent, it can definitely fade them over time with consistent use. Fourth thing is that it is suitable for various skin types. So it's generally considered to be safe for use on different skin types, including sensitive skin, which makes it kind of accessible to a wider range of people. Now, the 5th pro is that cysteamine is and can be an antioxidant. So some formulations of cysteamine may have antioxidant properties, and so that provides this extra kind of layer of protection against future sun damage, environmental damage, oxidative stresses, which all can contribute to hyperpigmentation. Number 6 is probably the biggest one, and that is that cysteamine offers a non-hydroquinone option, and a lot of people don't want to do hydroquinone. There's lots of drawbacks. It can be irritating, it can be drying. You can't use it for a long time. You have to get a prescription to get the 4%, which is actually the effective percentage of hydroquinone. Now, the other thing about cysteamine being a non-hydroquinone option is that you can use it for a long time. It can be used long term. You don't have to cycle on, cycle off. Cysteamine is effective at 5%. Hydroquinone is effective at 4%. Hydroquinone at 4% is a prescription. Cysteamine at 5% is not a prescription. Now, I'm going to list, there aren't very many, but I am going to list the cysteamine 5% products in the description box that I think are worth looking into. One of them is on the affordable side, and one of them is a little bit more expensive. Now, number 7 out of the pros is that you will see visible results. With consistent use, cysteamine can deliver results that you can see. It will improve your overall appearance, and it will help to restore kind of youthful tone and eliminate that hyperpigmentation. Now, the 8th and probably next to the non-hydroquinone option is that it is a wash-off product. And for me, that is such a huge plus. You use it on clean, dry skin, and basically what it is that you don't have to figure out where you fit it into your routine. You wear it like a 20-minute mask, you take it off, and then you go on with your routine, whatever that may be, whether it is you're going to do a device, or you are going to get in the sauna, or you're going to work out, and then your regular skincare routine is what you do. So cysteamine doesn't have to interfere into your current routine. Cysteamine is used in a cream form, at least the ones that I prefer, they're lotion form. And so basically you put them on like a mask, you leave it on for 20 minutes, you put it on clean, dry skin that has not been washed within an hour, and you have to use it consistently. That's super duper important. Now, while cysteamine can offer all of these benefits, there are some downsides that you should be considering. Number 1 is skin irritation. Now, To me, cysteamine isn't super irritating, but it may cause skin irritation, especially in people who are sensitive, and especially if you don't follow the directions. If you put cysteamine on skin that has been wet in the last hour, it can cause some burning, some stinging, that kind of thing, and a little bit of redness. The second drawback is that cysteamine can cause dryness. Some people may experience flakiness, they may experience some dryness, and it's especially in those people who already have dry and dehydrated skin. The third drawback is that cysteamine can cause some sun sensitivity. So like a lot of other pigment inhibitors, you have to be extra careful with your sun exposure, which we want to be anyway if we are trying to tackle our pigment. The fourth drawback is pretty rare, but there could be an initial worsening of hyperpigmentation. So this isn't seen a lot, but it can be something that happens in a small percentage of people, and it's basically PIH, but it does tend to resolve. So it's just something that you should know about before you start on this type of a product. The fifth one, and this is probably the biggest one, is that cysteamine is slow. So you have to use it nightly, consistently, nightly or in the morning like I do, for 16 weeks every single day, and you will see results at 16 weeks. You will see that brightened complexion, you will see that hyperpigmentation lightened up, all of that stuff. But it takes that 4 months of really consistent use. After that, you can move to 2-3 times a week, every other night, every third night, something like that. So you just have to be really diligent in the beginning. But I know for a lot of people, that's a long time to wait. But it is worth the wait if you are prepared to be committed to it and really to clear up your hyperpigmentation. The sixth drawback is that it can be kind of expensive. Now, in recent years, we have gotten some formulations that are a little bit more affordable than what was initially on the market. So the two that I like the most are by Urban Skin RX. This one is under $50. And then Sente. This one is pretty expensive. It's over $150. So they are pretty expensive. And obviously that can be prohibitive since you have to use it for 4 months in order to see results. But again, once you get to that point, typically that's when you're going to see the most results, and then you will be able to back off whichever one you are using. Now, I will tell you, I like both of these, but I absolutely do like the Sente better. It's a little bit thicker consistency. It feels a little bit more almost occlusive. This one feels truly like a lotion, so just something to take into consideration. This one is certainly so much more affordable since you can get 3 tubes of this for the cost of one of these. So all of that is to take into consideration. Both of them are tube with a pump packaging, and they travel really easily, which is important if you have to use it every single day for 4 months. Now, the seventh drawback is that there's relatively limited research. Although I'm going to put a study up on the screen here. It's kind of a meta-analysis of the studies. And I think it was done in 21, 22. And basically what it found was that cysteamine is an effective treatment for melasma. It works long-term and it has very, very little, contraindications or drawbacks. Now, the eighth and final drawback is that it smells. It really actually does smell. It smells a lot like sulfur to me, but truly you kind of get used to it and pretty soon it doesn't really bother you, at least for me, especially because you start to see the results, you start to see your complexion clear up, brighten up and everything, and the smell is totally worth it. Now, with any skincare ingredient or treatment, it's really, really important that you do a patch test. Even though this one works on sensitive skin, it's super important just to see how your skin's going to react to it. Remember, it is really, really important also to do this on clean, dry skin. So I made the mistake a couple years ago when I first started testing out cysteamine to use it on, I washed my skin and I thought, it won't bother me. And I put it on and man, my skin was super irritated. Here is how I use cysteamine in my daily routine. In the morning, I wake up and I apply my cysteamine to dry skin and I give it like 20 to 25 minutes to work. I wash it off and I go on with my routine. That might mean my zip. That That might mean LED, that might mean getting in the sauna or going to work out. It also might just mean I move on with the rest of my skincare because it truly doesn't interfere. And for me, when I do it first thing waking up, I went to bed with my skincare on. It is completely, it has integrated into my skin. It's the perfect time to just get that out of the way. And like I said, it just doesn't interfere with anything else. So for me, that's the perfect time to use it. A lot of people recommend using it at night, but the problem with that for me is that when I wash my face, a lot of times I'm ready to move on with my skincare routine. I don't want to wash my face and have to wait an entire hour, which you do with Cysteamine. You need to wait that hour or you will get irritation. And so really doing it in the evening, it almost seems like a little bit more of a roadblock than making it easier. Whereas doing it in the morning when I wake up, I can literally wake up, put it on my face, and I can go make my coffee. I can prep, things that I want to do for the day. And by the time I've got all of that kind of taken care of, the 25 minutes is up. I can take it off and I'm able to move on with the rest of my day as if I didn't even have a skincare step there. It's really easy to kind of multitask with it. Now, the other thing that's important to know is that it really doesn't interfere with anything else ingredients wise. So I'm able to use my vitamin C. I'm able to use, my growth factors and all of the stuff. I don't have to worry about it interfering with any of that stuff because it doesn't. So it really is one of those things that because it's a flash mask, it's very, very easy to incorporate into the routine. The biggest thing with Cysteamine is if you are not prepared to use it every single day for 4 months, there's no point in using it because you might get to 6 weeks and say, I'm not seeing any results yet. And they don't say that you're going to see results at 6 weeks. So you have to be prepared to be really, really diligent. Now, I know that the first time around when I used Cysteamine, which was a few years ago, I saw results probably around the 10-week mark, if I remember right. And I started to see results and they got better and they got better and they got better. So it's not like at 16 weeks, all of a sudden you just see the results. You start to see results, but you really need to make it to that 16 weeks. So you have to ask yourself, can I commit to 4 months of using this every single day? Can I do that? What does my life look like 2 months from now? Am I traveling a bunch? And I'm not going to want to do that because honestly, you will be let down if you can't take those 4 months and use the Cysteamine. I know because I've already done a round of it and then I did stop doing maintenance. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I know that it works and I'm really, really excited to add this back into my routine and I've planned it out. I know when I will be on maintenance. I know what my life is going to look like at that point. So I'm just prepared for that. And I'm super duper excited because it really, really works. If you have any questions about Cysteamine, leave them down below. I will be happy to answer. You want to check into any contraindications. There are some contraindications when it comes to like vitiligo. If you have vitiligo or if you have a history or if it's in your family, there are some contraindications. So definitely look in and read about that when you're checking into Cysteamine. Certainly talk to a healthcare provider if you are not sure. Talk to your dermatologist. But consensus is pretty positive on Cysteamine, and slow and steady wins the race, and it's a great alternative to hydroquinone. It's also a great stopgap when you cycle off of hydroquinone that you can use Cysteamine to kind of hold you over till you can go back on hydroquinone. So there's lots of different ways that you can use it. And also know that you can still do your retinoids at night. You can do your vitamin C's, your antioxidants, your growth factors, all your other things you can still do. You just flash this on for 20 minutes or so and take it off and everything else remains the same. All right, I hope that this was helpful. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. I will link these in the description box so you know which of the Cysteamine products are the ones that I recommend. And I will also put these in a pinned comment because there is also Cyspera. I personally didn't get along with that one very well. It actually made me break out a little bit. And then there's another one, I think it's called APC. And there was just a few drawbacks to that one too after I used an entire bottle of it. So these are the two that I definitely recommend out of the options that I have seen. And I will make sure to list them so that you know what they are. I hope you're having a really wonderful day and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.